peeps, it's Kimberly Purpose and welcome to my channel. I wanted to talk again, um, and I told you I was going to try to do more videos. I will still do videos on love, life, and relationships, but I'm also going to do some videos about identity because I think there's a need to talk about the identity crisis within the African American community. I'm going to stop calling myself African American and say Black Americans because I believe um, Black African American is a label that was given to us in order to strip us of our indigenous and native rights to this country, because there are quite a, I'd say a large predominant number of African Americans who are indigenous to this country. You know, um, Yes, I was looking at other fellow YouTubers like Dane Calloway. He did an awesome video about um, there being that a large percentage of African Americans who are actual Indians or related to the Indians or who are indigenous here into this country. And with that label being called African American, it detaches us, our identity, from this land to another land that we do not have any line. We cannot trace our ancestry straight to Africa. And so it, it's a touchy subject, and it's something that definitely needs to be touched on because it's one of the many topics and subjects about our identity and who we are that is constantly swept under the rug to the and I believe that the problems that we're facing today here in the United States is due to not correcting the problems and the issues that took place hundreds and hundreds of years ago, centuries ago, by our ancestors, and that's why we are facing it to this very day. And it needs to be addressed and corrected in order for us to move forward and in order to embrace and accept who we really are as you know African Americans or Black Americans, aka Black Americans or Aborigine Americans. That's the proper term, I believe, for us here in the United States. So, yeah, that's my take on it. But I also wanted to talk about some more topics, and one is the indoctrination of and within the school system. I believe that this ideology of us being African Americans and tied to Africa stems to from white supremacy or eugenics or the teaching or the indoctrinations within schools. You know, we learned early on that um, we were slaves, and it's like branded on top of us over and over again that hey, you were a slave, you're a slave, you're a slave. Even to the African American Museum that they built under President Obama, the only thing that the museum showed was our, you know, suffering pretty much, going through slavery and Jim Crow. But there's no history as to what happened prior to slavery. And so, and I think that's something that really needs to be addressed. So that's what I want to touch on is the indoctrination and how it takes place. Books like these, I was just giving an example. Inside the book pictures, the skin color, um, I'm gonna go into detail in another book. I'm going more in detail about the types of books that are taught in school. It'll give you a false sense of who you are as a person, black, and give you the idea that you are not, that you don't have no connections to this land. And if you read these books, you will actually believe that as fact. But I'll go to another video and it's go into more detail. And thanks for joining me. Till next time. Peace and be blessed. Don't forget to subscribe and put your comments below. Talk to you later. Bye bye.